Most nights, you let it happen. You shuffle. You surrender another 6 inches of mattress. And somewhere in the dark, a tail thumps once against the duvet. You've always told yourself it's fine, that they just like the warmth, that they're creatures of habit. Maybe you've even felt a little guilty about letting them in the bed in the first place. Like you failed some training milestone a decade ago and now this is just your life. But here's what no one told you. You didn't fail anything. What's happening in that bed every single night isn't a bad habit. It's not clinginess. It's not your dog being spoiled. It is a 15,000-year-old biological ritual. And once you understand what it actually means, you'll never look at that warm lump of fur the same way again. Here's something that should stop you cold. Sleep is the most dangerous thing an animal does. When a creature is unconscious, it cannot run, cannot fight, cannot detect a threat until it's already too late. In the wild, every sleeping animal is a potential meal. Evolution has spent millions of years making animals paranoid about exactly this vulnerability. And your dog, this animal encoded with ancient survival instincts, has chosen to close its eyes next to you. Not in another room, not under the table, next to you, with its back exposed, in its deepest, most defenseless state. That is not convenience, that is not habit. That is an animal making the highest stakes trust decision a living creature can make, and choosing you as the answer. Now here's the part that changes everything. Because this isn't a modern phenomenon. This isn't the result of TikTok pet culture or millennials treating dogs like children. Dogs were domesticated before the wheel, before farming, before written language. The earliest humans did not tame wolves to be guard animals or work animals. They tamed them to be companions. And 14,000 years ago, someone loved their dog so much that when they died, they were buried together, hand resting on fur, in a grave. Think about what that means. Before civilization had words for love, before we had architecture or agriculture or philosophy, we were already sleeping beside our dogs. We were already grieving them. We were already calling them family. This bond didn't develop because it was convenient. It developed because it worked. Because something in the neurology of both species locked onto each other and said, "This is better." We are both safer, calmer, and more resilient together than apart. And then science came along and said, "You're right." And here's exactly why. Researchers studying the attachment between dogs and their owners found something they weren't expecting. The brain signatures, the neural patterns of fear, comfort, and separation anxiety, were not just similar to the patterns seen in human parents and infants. They were functionally identical. Your dog experiences your absence the same way a 2-year-old experiences their mother leaving the room. The same cortisol spike, the same desperate search for proximity, the same profound relief on return. And then there's oxytocin, the hormone that drives love, bonding, and trust. Humans and dogs are the only cross-species pair on the planet that trigger a mutual oxytocin release through eye contact alone. You look at your dog. Their oxytocin rises. Your oxytocin rises, which makes you look at them more, which drives it higher. A closed loop of neurological devotion that deepens with every single interaction. Unlike any other species. Not with cats, not with horses, not with primates. Only dogs. And the geneticists found why. Domestic dogs carry unique markers on chromosome 6 that wolves do not have. These markers are linked to sociability, trust, and the compulsive need for human proximity. It isn't a behavior your dog learned. It is something written into their DNA, the biological result of 15,000 years of evolution, selecting specifically for the capacity to bond with you. Here's where it gets quietly remarkable. Studies measuring sleep quality in people who share their bed with dogs found something counterintuitive. Yes, dogs move. They steal space. They occasionally kick you awake at 3 a.m. chasing something in a dream. Objectively, they are disruptive. And yet people consistently report sleeping better when their dog is with them. The reason is something researchers call co-regulation. When two nervous systems that are deeply bonded are in close physical proximity, they begin to synchronize. Your breathing slows. Their breathing matches yours. Your heart rate settles. Their heart rate variability begins to mirror your own. You are not just sharing a bed. You are sharing a physiological state. The warmth isn't just thermal. It's neurological. The sense of safety isn't just psychological. It is measurable in the actual rhythms of your biology. But here's what I need you to hear, because this part matters most. Your dog cannot tell you when something is wrong. They don't have the language for it. What they have is behavior, and their sleep behavior is one of the most reliable windows into their well-being that exists. So pay attention. If your dog stops jumping onto the bed, don't assume they've finally decided to sleep on the floor. Dogs hide pain compulsively. It is an ancient survival instinct. A dog who stops coming up could be carrying chronic joint pain or stiffness they have been concealing from you for months. If their nighttime routine changes, if they begin wandering, seem disoriented in the dark, or stop finding their way back to their usual spot, that is often the first signal of canine cognitive dysfunction, dementia. It tends to surface at night, in the rituals, before it shows anywhere else. Any significant, unexplained change in where or how your dog sleeps is your dog trying to tell you something. In the only language they have, watch for it. Take it seriously. Your bed isn't a piece of furniture. For your dog, it is a coordinate. It is the single place in their entire world where all of the signals in their nervous system align and say, I am safe. I am home. The threat level is 0. And you are the reason for that. Not the blanket, not the mattress. You. They can't say, I trust you with my life. They don't have those words. But every night, when they circle twice and press their weight against yours, they are saying it. They are saying it in the only language that was here before language. And you, for whatever reason, are the safest place in their entire world.